What's up? This is Ray Luzier from KORN. You're checking out Raw magazine.
Magazine. We're sitting here with Ray Luzier.
Oh, good.
Okay, from KORN. Congratulations, debuted at #2.
Yeah,
your new
thanks.
album.
We're stoked.
Yes.
We're happy.
What is the meaning behind that album title?
I think it's this band's been around for 17 years. I've been in 3 now. I'm the new bongo player, but it's like they wanted to go back to the roots where they came from. Bakersfield, California. I'm from Pittsburgh actually, but they wanted to go back to remembering who they are. Even though the fame and they've had so much success, and they have a longevity. These days in a band, it's really hard to do that.
Sure.
So it was kind of cool for them to go back to get Ross. It was like a family reunion, and I've never worked with him, so I've been really curious to see how it was. And it was brutal. It wasn't a fun experience, but the end result we're quite proud of.
Right.
But Ross was like, no click tracks, no Pro Tools. I mean, KORN owns a very prestigious studio in Hollywood, and the drum room's a gymnasium.
Wow.
And he made us go into the guitar booth, which is like 13 by 12.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm very uncomfortable. No air conditioning, just sweating it out.
Wow.
We'd leave there, John would be crying, I'd be bleeding, sweating.
Oh my gosh.
It was not pretty at all. So, but I think it came across on the record like that.
Sure.
To get that uncomfortable state.
What is the significance of KORN 3? What is 3?
It's kind of the same thing, like coming back to the roots. That this is the 3rd album with Ross.
Okay.
So that automatically, Ross would write down K3 throughout the sessions, and it kind of stuck. We're like, that looks kind of cool. So it just kind of stuck.
Very good. When did you start the writing process for this album?
We started tinkering around. Tinkering, is that a word? Tinkering.
Tinkering.
I just made that up. Tinkering. Like around the beginning of last year's tour, like we just mess around with, and we'd go to like Fiodi's house, and then or we'd go to like the KORN studio and started working with Ross to see where he was at, head-wise. But all those ideas we wrote, nothing stuck. Like we got in last October is when we just all 4 of us got in there with Ross and just went, okay, I had this idea, I had this groove, I had this, and we just started bouncing ideas, and it all became fresh. So all the ideas we wrote before didn't transpire.
Right.
So everything was on the cuff. And we'd write a song, and like a half hour, 45 minutes later, be tracking for the record.
Really?
Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, oh, kind of.
So everybody's involved in the whole writing process?
Yeah, on this record, yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. What song do you best connect with on this record? Personally.
I was gonna say, at what level? There's, like I said, it was very intense. John was really, a lot of bands, they're trying to be mean and trying to be heavy just because that's what's in. They don't really mean it. They're not, and you can kind of see the transparency of it. But John Davis is the real deal. There's no what I'm saying? There's no I think that's why he relates to sort of appeals to the masses, his lyrics. And so there was a lot of heavy moments in there. Holding All These Lives, the last track on the record, was like every single one of us left there so drained and couldn't barely walk to our car.
Really?
It was like, yeah. So that one definitely sticks out. My favorite drumming wise, I think, is Papa Pill, the second track.
Yeah.
Because I was really pissed off that day. Ross was just riding me to no end. I mean, he was just like, he found out that I've been primarily a session guy. I've done like 70 plus CDs and for a lot of artists that I can't even mention because I was a ghost drummer. I was one of those guys for a very long time. And KORN has just been that band. It's just been that thing. And I've had to work very hard to get where I'm at, So he found out a lot of stuff, and he was just riding me. And I go, I'm leaving today. I'm done for the day. And he goes, no, you're not. You're going to do this track. And I go, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm out of it. You're going to do this track. And we were arguing, literally fighting. And I go, fuck it then. I'll give you this track right now. And I go, give me one time through. And I kind of was being sarcastic. I was like counting off kind of quick and just went into it. And I was playing all the stuff. And that was the take on the record because it was just kind of pissed off fire.
It's raw.
And now it's one of my favorite tracks on the record.
That's awesome.
It's weird though how
That's awesome. Now you've been in KORN since
Oh, 07.
7.
October I got the gig. Joey Jordison from Slipknot, now Zombie,
Yep.
was filling in for a while. You know,
Right.
David, the original drummer, parted at the beginning of '05, and they've been kind of scattered with drummers. They you know, Terry
Right.
Bozzio did some of the last records.
Right.
Brooks Wackerman did. Mike Gordon filled in from Faith No More. They had, you know, all these different drummers, and they wanted a member. You know,
Right.
and my last band, Army of Anyone, with Stone Temple Pilot members and Filter, they were managed by the same. We had the same management, and I actually approached Jonathan at that Family Values tour and said, "Hey, is there any, you know, Army of Anyone's coming to an end? I'd love to check you guys out." He's like, "Wow, I really like the playing or whatever." And I never thought I'd be in KORN. I thought it'd be like for maybe a side project for
Right.
Jonathan or something. And so I went up on Joey's last gig and auditioned, played 6 songs, and they said, "Welcome to KORN in Dublin."
That's awesome.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I did read somewhere where they asked you to learn 5 and you learned 30.
Yeah, yeah, kind of. I learned as many as I could. You know,
Wow. I mean,
Well,
like, how long did that take?
I did that for a living for so long. Like, people would give me a movie soundtrack and say, "Here, have this down in 3 days." So that's kind of what I did for a living, you know. And I taught drum lessons, and I would have to learn this. This kid would come in and say, "I need to know these 5 songs," and I'd have to go learn them and teach the kid.
Right.
So my memory's really good, you know, as far as learning songs. And I was a KORN fan, so that didn't suck.
Here comes the rain.
Starting to rain.
Coming down?
It's
Coming
good.
down.
It's good.